Hey there, and welcome to Scary Tales. I know many of you love listening to these stories to relax or fall asleep. But before you drift off, drop a comment and let me know where you're listening from. If you're enjoying the videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps. Story number 1. When I was a kid, we lived in Georgia. Our house had a massive backyard. It made me feel like the coolest kid in school. Every time my friends wanted to play outside, my backyard was the go-to spot. It was huge, 2 acres of pure fun. The yard was surrounded by woods on 3 sides. There were trees everywhere, a trampoline in one corner, a hot tub, a big garage, and even an above-ground pool. For a middle-class family, we had it all. It was like a playground. We played soccer, baseball, football, you name it. Hide and seek was our favorite. We called it manhunt. It was the best. One Friday, in 6th grade, my friends and I decided to have a camp out. Mike, Michael, and Jason were all in. We got permission from our parents. No big deal. It was a Friday night, and we were 11 or 12. What could go wrong? My family had camping gear, so we set up 2 tents. Each tent could fit 2 of us. We started the evening playing soccer, then baseball. Afterward, we were exhausted but happy. My parents ordered pizza, and we ate around 6:30 or 7. As the sun set, we set up the tents. I was a Boy Scout, so I knew what I was doing. My friends helped, but I did most of the work. By the time we finished, it was dark. The backyard lights gave everything a soft glow. It was time for manhunt. We played in pairs. Mike and I hid first. Michael and Jason were the hunters. The goal was to get back to the back door without getting caught. No camping by the door allowed. I hid under the trampoline, waiting for the perfect moment to make a run for it. The hunters blew a whistle to start the game. I stayed still, watching them search the yard. My plan was to sneak to the hot tub, then sprint to the door. When both hunters had their backs turned, I bolted. Just as I reached the hot tub, I heard a noise. One of the trash bins almost tipped over. The motion light turned on. I peeked around the corner and froze. A tall figure in dark clothes was walking toward the woods. It wasn't my dad. My heart raced. I ran to my friends and called off the game. We told my dad, and he searched the yard and street. Nothing. He said we should sleep inside. We were bummed, but agreed. Later we snuck back outside to sleep in the tents. Mike and I shared one. Michael and Jason took the other. We joked around for a while, then quieted down. I wasn't asleep yet when I heard footsteps. The tent zipper opened. I thought it was my dad. He asked, "What are you guys doing out here?" I started to answer, then froze. It wasn't my dad. It was a stranger, a man who looked like my dad but wasn't. I screamed. Mike screamed. The man grabbed our ankles and told us to be quiet. But when he realized we weren't stopping, he ran. We bolted inside. My dad came out, yelling at the guy to show himself. My mom called the police. The cops came, took my statement, and left. Nothing else happened that night, but it was terrifying. I still wonder if that man ever came back. Story number 2. Fast forward to 2019. I was at my friend M's house for a sleepover. Her place was deep in the woods, no neighbors for half a mile. The backyard had a cliff overlooking the ocean. It was beautiful but eerie. That night, we played games like Truth or Dare and Hide and Seek. Around midnight, we decided to take a walk down the gravel road. M's mom said it was okay. We walked for about 15 minutes when we saw a man coming toward us. He was dressed in heavy clothes, like it was winter, but it was 60 degrees outside. Weird. As we passed him, the smell hit us. It was awful, like rotting garbage mixed with something worse. One of my friends almost threw up. We turned back, but the man started following us. We walked faster. He walked faster. We jogged. He jogged. Then we ran. He ran. My friend Sam looked back and screamed. The man was sprinting at us with something sharp in his hand. We screamed and ran all the way back to M's house. We didn't tell her parents. They were already asleep. We stayed up watching a horror movie, trying to calm down. Around 2 a.m., I heard footsteps outside. Em said it was probably the deer she'd been feeding for years. I grabbed a flashlight and looked out the window. Big mistake. The man was there, shirtless and staring right at me. I woke Sam up, but Em was out cold. Sam didn't believe me when I told her what I saw. She went back to sleep. I stayed up, terrified. At 4:30 a.m., I heard a knock on the door. I checked the peephole. Nothing. I went back to the couch but couldn't sleep. Around 5 a.m., I woke up in a cold sweat. The smell was back. I turned on the flashlight and saw him, standing in the corner of the room. I screamed. Em and Sam screamed. The man ran out the door. Em's parents called the cops. Her dad grabbed a shotgun and searched the area. The police found the man later. In an old shed nearby, they discovered 5 dead bodies. The smell, decaying flesh. That night could have ended very differently. I still get chills thinking about it. Now, I work in risk management at a bank in Manhattan. In 2019, a new guy named Sebastian joined our team. He was the life of the party, always telling wild stories about his adventures. We became friends, but over time, I realized his stories didn't add up. He was a great talker, but something felt off.